नमस्कार. जय श्री कृष्ण. श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद, श्री अद्वैत गदाधर, श्रीवासदि गौर भक्त वृंदा. Enunciating texts 42, 43, text 44 and text 45, 47 of chapter 21, conversation between Manu and Kardama of third canto, the status quo of Srimad Bhagavatam. Text 42, 43. कदंब चंप का शोक, करंज बकुला सनैः, कुंद मंदार कुट जैश, च्यूत पोतैरलंकृतं, कारंडवैः प्लवैरहंसैः, पुररैरजल कुक्कुटैः, सारसैष चक्रवाकैश्च, चकोरैरवल्गु कुजितम्. Lake Bindu Sarovar was adorned by flowering trees such as कदंब, चंपक, अशोक, करंज, बकुल, आसन, कुंद, मंदार, कुटज and young mango trees. The air was filled with the pleasing notes of Karandav ducks, plovers, swans, ospreys, waterfowl cranes, chakravakas and chakoras. For most of the trees, flowers, fruits and birds mentioned here as surrounding Bindu Sarovar lake, English synonyms cannot be found. All the trees mentioned are very pious in that they produce a nice aromatic flower such as champaka, kadamba and bakula. The sweet sounds of waterfowl and cranes made the surrounding area as pleasant as possible and created a very suitable spiritual atmosphere. Text 44. Tathaiva harinaiha krodaiha shvavida gavaya kunjaraiha गोपुच्छैर हरिभिर मरकैर नकुलैर नाभिभिर वृतम. Its shores abounded with deer, boars, porcupines, gavayas, elephants, baboons, lions, monkeys, mongooses and musk deer. Musk deer are not found in every forest but only in places like Bindu Sarovar. They are always intoxicated by the aroma of musk secreted from their navels. Gavayas, the species of cow mentioned herein, bear a bunch of hair at the end of their tails. This bunch of hair is used in temple worship to fan the deities. Gavayas are sometimes called chamaris and they are considered very sacred. In India, there are still gypsies or forest mercantile people who flourished by trading kasturi or musk and the bunches of hair from the chamaris. They are always greatly in demand for the higher classes of Hindu population and such business still goes on in large cities and villages in India. Text 45, 47. Pravishya tata tirthavara मादिराजः सहात्मजः ददर्श मुनिमासीनं तस्मिन् हुतहुताश्नं विद्योत्मानं वपुषा तपस्युग्रयुजा चिरं नाति क्षामम भगवतः स्निग्धापाङ्गाव लोकनाथ तदव्यारुतामृत कला पीयूष श्रवणेन च प्रांशुं पद्मपलाशाक्षं जटिलं चिरवाससम् उपसमश्रित्य मलिनं यथार्हणं संस्कृतम्. Entering that most sacred spot with his daughter and going near the sage, the first monarch Swayambhuva Manu saw the sage sitting in his hermitage having just propitiated the sacred fire by pouring oblations into it. His body shone most brilliantly. Though he had engaged in austere penance for a long time, he was not emaciated, for the Lord had cast his affectionate sidelong glance upon him and he had also heard the nectar flowing from the moon-like words of the Lord. The sage was tall. His eyes were large, like the petals of a lotus, and he had matted locks on his head. He was clad in rags. Swayambhuva Manu approached and saw him to be somewhat soiled, like an unpolished gem. Here are some descriptions of the Brahmachari yogi. In the morning, the first duty of a Brahmachari seeking spiritual elevation is Hutashnam, to offer sacrificial oblations to the Supreme Lord. Those engaged in Brahmacharya cannot sleep until 7 or 9 o'clock in the morning. They must rise early in the morning, at least 1.5 hours before the sun rises, and offer oblations, or in this age they must chant the holy name of the Lord Hare Krishna, as referred to by Lord Chaitanya. Kalau nasti, eva nasti, eva nasti, eva gatir anyatha. There is no other alternative, no other alternative, no other alternative in this age to chanting the holy name of the Lord. The brahmachari must rise early in the morning and after placing himself should chant the holy name of the Lord. From the very features of the sage it appeared that he had undergone great austerities, that is the sign of one observing brahmacharya, the vow of celibacy. If one lives otherwise, it will be manifest in the lust visible in his face and body. The word Vidyotmanam indicates that the brahmachari feature showed in his body. That is the certificate that one has undergone great austerity in yoga. A drunkard or smoker or sex monger can never be eligible to practice yoga. Generally, yogis look very skinny because of their not being comfortably situated, but Kardam Muni was not emaciated, for he had seen the Supreme Personality of Godhead face to face. Here the word Snigdha Pangava Lokanath means that he was fortunate enough to see the Supreme Lord face to face. He looked healthy because he had directly received the nectarian sound vibrations from the lotus lips of the Personality of Godhead. Similarly, one who hears the transcendental sound vibration of the holy name of the Lord Hare Krishna also improves in health. We have actually seen that many brahmacharis and gruhasthas connected with the International Society for Krishna's Consciousness have improved in health, and a luster has come to their faces. It is essential that a brahmachari engaged in spiritual advancement look very healthy and lustrous. The comparison of the sage to an unpolished gem is very appropriate. Even if a gem just taken from a mine is unpolished, the luster of the gem cannot be stopped. Similarly, although Kardam was not properly dressed and his body was not properly cleansed, his overall appearance was gem-like. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare.